We're at the racetrack. Right now we're trying to figure out what our staggers are gonna be. Those skies to me look a little bit threatening. The first car's on the track, so we'll hot lap, then we'll qualify round 1. We drew a 40 for the first round of qualifying, and then we drew a 12 for round 2, which will be toward the end of the night tonight. Just finished hot laps. Car was pretty darn good, man. As good as we've had around here.
And paired with him from East Grand Forks, Minnesota, the Pro Seed Ag Surf, Logan Schuhart, quickest in that first lap time for Jeff Dodge will be 6th quick at 13.430. Making his way toward the speedway now from Colorado Springs, Colorado, with the Lamb Excavating at Dirt Perfect Diamond Equipment Skills USA Ground to Glory number 77. It's Jeff Dodge. Jeff Dodge in car number 77.
All right, well, qualifying didn't quite go to plan last night. We hot lapped well, and we were 15th overall after hot laps, 2 flights. They divide the field into half. We were the first car out in Flight B for round 1 of qualifying, which was for tonight, Thursday night. And car felt pretty good. I felt like I had a decent lap, but it just, we were like 1/10 and a half slower than what we needed to be. We lost a 1/10 over hot laps and everybody else gained, and that seems to be something that's happened to us frequently. And I just don't know why. We got a few ideas what we can do different, and we're still trying to learn. So we came to the World Finals last year with this car for the first time, and that was when we first ran this car, and we struggled really bad the first night and fought our way into better and better contention through the week. So we were definitely better last night than what we started last year, so it's easy to see we've made progress. But you know, you run well and then you show speed like in hot laps, and it doesn't take you very long before all of a sudden you're like, hey, we're in this thing. And you step back from, hey, we're here to learn, we're here to see how we progressed over a year, to, hey, we're here to try to freaking perform well and succeed. And it's not that we're not performing well, and I think that we are succeeding because of how little we race compared to our competition. But you know, you want that feel good of putting a result on the board and getting to do that. So we're here, we're trying to figure out what to do for tonight. We're gonna start, I believe, 7th in heat race number 4, which is good. Heat races are gonna be the first thing on the track tonight after opening ceremonies. Last year there was some big crashes because of
2 cars upside down,
the kind of green racetrack, and they're going to do it to us again this year. So I'm glad we're in heat 4, because the track should have kind of taken shape and be a little bit less sketchy by then. And the plan is we got to get a start and basically do what Larson did to us at Peevely to everybody else. So try to be side by side with the 3rd row by the time the green drops, basically, and drag race down the front stretch, put the guy that started inside row 3 in the middle, force him to back out, throw a slider past the guy on the outside of him, and see if you can make something happen on the break. So got a little muddy last night. They well watered the crap out of the push lane, and so we just got done giving the car a sponge bath here, sponge bathed all the panels off. Dad and Nick are working on figuring out tires for tonight. That's a common theme in around sprint car racing. You're always working on your tires, and yeah, so optimistic that we can hopefully get a good start tonight and make something happen. But a little bit confused yet as to why we didn't qualify better. So anyway, gonna get back to work. Just figured we'd give you a quick update.
As you can see, getting ready to kick off Thursday night's portion, the temperature has definitely started to get cooler throughout the evening. The track crew's been really hard getting everything prepped, but it's gonna be a wet racetrack, and these cooler temperatures, this cloud coverage is definitely gonna throw a curveball for some of our drivers.
And remember, no hot laps tonight, no time trials. We go right into heat racing. So yeah, we're gonna have those wet conditions, but we're not gonna burn off the racetrack at all like we do all year long.
Engine heat's done, car's ready. I think we hopefully made a couple changes that'll help it. The track looks really wet from the 4th heat, so we should get the best of it of the sprint cars, but I have some concerns about whether we're going to have much racetrack to work with and how easy it'll be to try to pass people, and whether or not it's going to be a one-lane deal with a bunch of grease outside the main lane. So we'll find out here pretty darn soon, about 5 or 10 minutes maybe.
And with that, it is time to go to work. Well, you guys go to work. I'm going to head back to the studio, and we're going to put John Gibson, Mike Warren, and Ruben Morales to work as we send it upstairs, get night number 2 of the World of Outlaw World Finals underway.
Thanks so much, Dave Reef. Race fans, good evening and welcome to the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and welcome to all of you watching at home on Dirt Vision as well, as we prepare for the first competitive night of action at the World of Outlaws World Finals. Last night, qualifying, 2 rounds completed for the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, 1 round completed for the World of Outlaws Case Late Models and the Super Dirt Car Series Big Blocks. So they'll have their final qualifying session tomorrow afternoon, a little earlier start tomorrow. We'll go green flag on that at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But Ruben Morales, a fantastic night of action in store for us here this evening. Heat races, last chance showdowns, features for all 3 of Short Track Racing's premier dirt track division.
Well, we're getting ready to go for the heat race. For Thursday, we mounted the GoPro looking straight down on the right rear shock. We wanted to learn how much that shock extended on entry as the car dipped to the left, as well as how fast and when it got back on the right rear. We had made a few changes after qualifying, one of which was we shored up and made the left rear bump gap between the bump rubber and the bump cup smaller, and that was a really bad idea because the car never sat left and entered the corner. So you'll see on this that we end up on the right rear pretty much right away, and it just kind of sits there and is rolled up.
The low line on the speedway, and now Brock Zierfoss challenging for the 4th spot, given to the 3Z at the end of the back straightaway. Now see time running out, however, for Zierfoss. White flag waving for your race leader, Buddy Kofoid. Zierfoss may be close enough to try something on Allen in the final set of corners, and that's where we find our race leader. Headed to the checkered flag, Buddy Kofoid wins heat race number 4. Second goes to Justin Peck. Jacob Allen takes on the 3rd. 4th will be
we'll chalk that one up as a miss and have to get back to the drawing board for the C main here. Tightening that bump gap up was definitely not good. So they reworked the racetrack right before the C main, which definitely didn't help us any. After a rework, the track is green, and it's usually kind of hard to spread out and pass. Charlotte gets pretty dirty, so they let us have a little hot lap session to try to get the track worked in, but I was definitely not feeling great about our chances.
NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series C main. Toyota Pace Truck makes its way onto the speedway as we get set to align the field for the C main. Drivers moving to their proper starting positions. Caution lights out. Green at the stripe in turn 4 the next time around for the start of the C main. Matt Farnham and Casey Kane, the 7NY and the 9 from the front row. The 17 GP Hank Davis, W20 Greg Wilson in row 2. 6 Dylan Cisney, 77 Jeff Dodge in row 3. The 1B Keith Baxter, G5 Gage Polkerbeck, 97 UK Ryan Harrison, the 0 of Glenn Stiers, and the 1 of Sammy Swindell. All 11 scheduled starters on the speedway. Green flag in the air for the C. Caution lights come on around the speedway, however. The 7NY of Matt Farnham early on the throttle, being penalized 2 positions. That'll move the number 9 of Casey Kane to the pole. It'll put the 17 GP of Hank Davis on the outside of the front row. We mentioned Davis making his World of Outlaws debut here this evening. Successful 2024 campaign with the ASCS National Tour. 3 victories to go along with a regional victory. Kasey Kahne and Hank Davis bring us to the green in this evening's C-Main. Davis out to the race lead. Kasey Kahne in second. Matt Farnham running third as they make their way down the backstretch. Farnham trying to catch up with Kasey Kahne for the final transfer spot. Just 2 move on. The mayor of Port Royal, Pennsylvania, Dylan Cisney, advancing in the Bill Rose Motorsports number 6. He is up to 5th, trying to track down Greg Wilson, who went to victory lane with the World of Outlaws here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway back in 2016. Gage Polkrebeck a little higher line entering turn number 1. 3 of 10 laps complete in the C-Main. Hank Davis leading it by 1.5 seconds over Kasey Kahne. Kahne a bit of a gap now between himself and the third place 7NY of Matt Farnham. Lap times being turned in the low 13-second bracket at over 105 miles per hour for the average speed. Halfway this time by, 5 in the books, 5 to go in the C-Main. Sammy Swindell from last up to 7th. Swindell with misfortune early on in his heat race, caught the infield tire marker, destroyed the front end. No trouble in turn number 1, car up in smoke in big time. The G5 of Gage Polkrebeck. Gage Polkrebeck slowing to a stop in turn number 2. Some flames under the hood of that car. We go back to the green. Kasey Kahne gets close to leader Hank Davis in turn 1. Davis opens up more of a gap at the end of the back straightaway. Greg Wilson on the move, trying to catch up with Matt Farnham, but he's got company in the form of Dylan Cisney, the mayor, all over the driver of the Hercules Tire W20. Two laps to go in this evening's C-Main. Ryan Harrison and Keith Baxter going at it in the battle for the 8th spot as the white flag is displayed to leader Hank Davis. Into corner number 3 and out of turn 4, Hank Davis wins the C-Main in his World of Outlaws debut. Kasey Kahne advances to the Microlight Last Chance Showdown as well.
Well, we missed it, so I guess failed to transfer to the Last Chance Showdown, but we'll go ahead and transfer to dinner.
Professional.
You're professional.
So you don't have editing stuff, so we're just this one-shot wonder?
One-shot wonder. So,
Kind of like qualifying?
yeah. Heat race was thumbs down. We got the car way too tight.
How about that pit crew you got, though?
We have a pretty good pit crew.
We're missing a little guy, but...
We're missing one guy.
Yeah.
And I heard you snuck in.
I mean, when's this going to come out before I confess?
You don't
After
have
the
to,
event or during the event?
This is going to come out probably in like
I
20
did
minutes.
not sneak in if somebody was not doing their job. I just walked through the gate, and the next thing I know, I was at your hauler.
I mean, you got there just in time, so it's probably
It worked.
lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky it went that
So we
way.
had to go all the way around. Is that the title of this short? Dirt Perfect breaks into the Charlotte Motor Speedway?
Could be.
Wouldn't be wrong.
We're going to get a little dinner, re-rack, and try again tomorrow, but Mike is here.